Welcome to another episode of Pottawattamie County Routes. I am Todd Studer, and back into the studios, this is Kate Gerber, and she is the Public Relations Director.
Yes.
That got you some new business cards.
Yes, well, it will eventually once I run out of the current ones.
Okay.
We have to be very cognizant of spending at the county, so we're going to just use the current ones until they run out.
Just take a line and cross through it and write director underneath
White
it.
out. It'll be fine.
Did your job change very much from taking on the new role?
It's really been evolving ever since I started at the county, which is hard to believe. That's already been almost 15 months now.
Yeah.
And I think one of the great things about what I've gotten to do is really evolve the role and build it as what I thought it could be and could become. And part of that has been really growing the presence in the community. And so much of what my predecessor had to deal with was a lot of crisis communications. And I've been very fortunate that I've been able to do a lot beyond just that. We've not just had the natural disasters. It's been a lot of getting to grow those relationships with our nonprofits and getting to deepen the relationships with the communities and the cities in our county. And so I keep working through that, and then obviously working through a lot of different events and programs, and then with all of our departments as well. So the job description itself did change a little bit, but part of that is it was work that I was already doing, and now it's, I think, just a little bit more accurately reflected.
Well, also, you've done a great job in keeping everyone informed about what's going on around the county, and in some cases, just what the day-to-day things are like that many people not aware of, me included.
There is just so much good happening, and I think that's been something that I've been really focused on too. It's easy for people to get bogged down in negativity or drama, and when it comes to politics, that can be easier than we might want it to be. But for me, I really try to be a force for good and to really be that megaphone for positivity. I was fortunate to be at an event last week that was put on by the Community Foundation. And you were supposed to focus on what's a project that you're working on in your community, whether that's some of the cities were there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I was there on behalf of the county. And I was talking about how this is something I've been working on, is trying to give our nonprofits and some of our organizations more of a mouthpiece and being able to have that platform where, not all PR is good PR, but I do think that all microphones can be good microphones. And so if we give people an opportunity to be able to talk to an audience that they might not have had access to previously, that can be really impactful for their organization. But what does that look like to standardize that? And what does that look like to templatize that so that it's not so much work on me, because I am still a department of one. And so that part hasn't changed. So figuring some of those things out as we go has been challenging, but really fulfilling too.
It's on Pottawattamie County Routes, we explore the places that make our region home and the people who keep them connected. That is why we are proud to feature Marnie Elkhorn Communications, your local communications provider serving Marnie, Elkhorn, Walnut, Avoca, and other Southwest Iowa towns with high-speed fiber internet, reliable phone service, and TV options built for rural living. With real local support and unlimited data plans, you get speeds up to 1 gig to work, stream, and stay in touch with family and neighbors. Visit metc.net to learn more and get connected today. Finding the right care for a loved one can feel overwhelming. Assisted Living Locators is here to help. Jean Bonker brings more than 30 years of experience serving families and has personally navigated the challenges of elder care. She understands the questions, the emotions, and the weight of these decisions. Jean becomes your advocate, guiding you through options with clarity, compassion, and personal support every step of the way. Call Assisted Living Locators at 402-690-5467 and move forward with confidence. Every microphone being a good microphone, I know some people who forgot that.
Like I said, it can be. Well, it doesn't necessarily guarantee.
This has always been my philosophy that if I have one of these in front of me, I don't even care if it's plugged in. I'm going to behave like I have a microphone in front of me.
I think that's a very good mindset.
Yeah, and I think that's it's kept me out of trouble so far, except for the occasional slip where something I didn't mean to say came out because it was a close word to something else, and that's a completely different story in a therapy session. So we'll leave that alone. Walnut Hills is just a month away, less than a month away.
Less than a month
away. And a lot of preparation has been going into this. There's a lot of work. I'm still getting the emails about it. And I know that there's still work to be done.
There is, yes. I feel like I've been out on a little bit of a speaking tour for it over the last several months. Part of it being here talking to you. I think we first started talking about it back in November,
Yeah.
which is wild because now, we're turning the calendar on May and it's going to be here before we know it. But we're getting down to it as far as the last few volunteer shifts that we still need filled. I think last I checked, we're at about 50 volunteer shifts still, but considering it was a total of 300, we're doing really well.
Okay.
And we've been seeing really good progress towards that. I think for a lot of people, it's hard to sign up for something 3-4 months out. You don't know what your schedule is going
Right.
to look like, but it's starting to feel a little bit more real to people. They might have a better idea of what their plans look like for Memorial Day weekend. And so they're feeling a little bit more ready and willing to commit to those volunteer hours. And also, maybe we've just worn them down a little bit by talking about it so much. So,
Well, also, it is something that is special that gets to happen in the county. And I think that as it gets closer, people are realizing we want to be a part of this. We want to say that we were there and we helped all of this come together.
it really is. And I had such a special moment at the Veterans Resource Festival just last weekend. An individual came up to me because I was wearing my Wall That Heals t-shirt because I figured this is the day I'm not going to wear a county shirt. I'm going to wear my Wall That Heals shirt and be at a little walking billboard as I go around this event. And she asked me if she could ask me some questions about it 'cause she had signed up to volunteer. And she wanted to know some information about the volunteer training. And so we talked about that for a little bit. And she said, she thanked me and said that her husband was a Vietnam veteran and he has since passed away. And when she had looked into how much it would cost for her to go to DC and to see the memorial there, it would be thousands of dollars. And it was just not something that was realistic for her to do. And it's obviously a huge time commitment as well. And she was so appreciative that we were bringing this here close to home. And I was just standing there, with my camera, just trying to take photos of this event. And I was just so appreciative of her taking the time to tell me that, because that's what we've been saying to everyone. That's kind of the story and the pitch that we've been giving, is that this is really bringing this experience to everybody's backyard for our community. And to have someone say it back to me, it was like, oh no, this is real. We didn't make this up. We're not, fabricating something. Right. This is not some marketing pitch that we're giving you. This is a real thing that is going to be such a meaningful experience for our community.
So everything else with the Veterans Weekend, that went well?
Yes, it was a great event. I mean, I think they had double the number of vendors that we had last year. I think we had double the number of attendees that we had last year. We had beautiful weather. The sun was shining. It was a really, really successful event. We'll be back stronger, I think, even in year 3. So we'll continue to offer that for our veterans, just continuing to find ways to make sure that everybody knows what resources and benefits are available to them as a veteran. I think that's one of the things that really stood out to me when I first started working with our Veterans Service Office, is so many of our veterans are so humble and they're not going to go out and seek those resources and those benefits, but they're certainly owed to them. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to put them a little bit more in front of their face, I think is really meaningful and really valuable.
And just a side note, years ago, I had a painting company, and I was contacted by somebody that wanted his deck refinished. And this was a gentleman, he was a Vietnam vet, and he was on a waiting list for a lung transplant and going through the VA. It was looking like it was going to take a while. And I got to thinking about it, and I talked with some friends, and I told him that, look, we want to come do this for you. We just want to be able to provide as a thank you for what it is that you did and for the service and for what you're going through now. We just want to be able to do this. And he said no. He wouldn't take it. He said, but what he was willing to do was to take what the charge would have been and donate that money instead of giving it to us. And he that's what he did. And it actually I think it went to New Visions where that donation went. This has been a number of years ago now, but you talk about veterans and for them to be able to stand up and say, hey, I could use a little assistance here, that kind of flies opposite of just how they're wired oftentimes.
Absolutely. And so for us to really try and make it as accessible as possible and to remind them that, no, you're not taking away from anyone else. You are absolutely owed all of these things. And so are your fellow veterans. You not taking advantage of, but using these benefits, using these resources is not going to make it so one of your fellow veterans can't. I think it's just so important that we kind of try and really get that message home.
You're part of your time now, you're at Board of Supervisors meetings every week now, right? Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a lot of proclamations coming out, aren't there?
It is a busy,
Yeah.
busy season for proclamations. I kind of have been laughing that it seems like all the associations and organizations got together and they were like, you know what? Spring seems nice. Let's do all our proclamations in spring. So we're trying to space them out as much as we can. But also, I love it too because there's so many important things that we're able to recognize. And I think it's a really unique and special opportunity for a lot of these different community groups, organizations, and also some of our county departments as well to get a little bit additional recognition that they might not normally get.
So anything special coming up soon that we can announce?
We've had a few just very recently. In April we had, and you might have seen the pinwheels around town. So it was Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. So we had the blue pinwheels around the courthouse. And that was in conjunction with several community organizations that came in on behalf of that one. I think it was the largest group photo that I ever got to take during one of the Board of Supervisors meetings. It was wonderful. I found out about a new group. I didn't know that Bikers Against Child Abuse existed.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Chubbs, you were going to come see me. Remember that. Okay, I'm sorry.
But it was wonderful to see so many individuals together for one, obviously very important cause. So we had that in April. We also had National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, which I'm getting much better at saying that a little faster. It's our 911 dispatchers, obviously a group that, very much the unsung heroes, I think, of our sheriff's office. They're literally in the basement of the courthouse. That's where our 911 office is located. And they're that first voice that you hear when you're calling in an emergency. And it's such an important voice that you hear because they're going to be that calm when you're in potentially one of the worst moments that might be going on. So obviously very thrilled to recognize them and the immense important work that they're doing. We also had Donate Life Month. So that was a really unique opportunity for us to bring together our medical examiner's office as well as the Iowa Donor Network. The Pottawattamie County Medical Examiner's Office has actually been recognized by Iowa Donor Network several times because of the wonderful partnership that they have in trying to make sure that we're getting these life-saving donors quickly to the right people. So that's been a really interesting thing for me to learn more about. We had, Drug Endangered Children Day. That was at the end of April. And then coming up here in May, we have our Correctional Officers and Employees Week. So that is the first week of May. Another kind of unsung heroes group for our sheriff's office. Obviously, a ton of important work happening in the jail. So always happy to give them some extra recognition. And then the following week, we have Police Week. So for us, obviously, that also includes our sheriff's deputies. So we celebrate that week because that's the same week of the Police Memorial Day in D.C. And so that one, I think it's just kind of all encompassing. And we like to think that that includes our sheriff's deputies as well. The name Police Week, it can be more broad. We've got Nurses Week, and we have some wonderful nurses who work in the jail as well as in our public health department. And on a lighter note, I guess, Travel and Tourism Week is the first week of May as well. So we're excited to celebrate that. We obviously have some fantastic tourism destinations that you always do such a wonderful job of highlighting.
Well, thank you.
In our fantastic county parks. So we're excited to celebrate those during Travel and Tourism Week. That's a great partnership with Unleash CB and the Travel and Tourism Committee. So a lot of exciting things going on. And then Mental Health Awareness Month is the whole month of May. So yes, busy month.
A lot of these things just kind of hit right in with things that I'm a big supporter of. Since you mentioned it, it's a good opportunity to let people know again that on May 5th, Cobiah Lodge with the Masons is doing free lunch for first responders and fire department. That's happening on the 5th. And then on the 12th, it's their Burgers for Blue. So that will be for the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department to come in and get a free lunch.
That's an excellent reminder.
Yeah, that is just let you know that all that's going to go on. And the cool part about that is I go down and a lot of these guys that come in, I'm doing interviews like all over the lunch hour. I'm just doing a lot of interviews that we'll be bringing folks that's coming up a little bit later. So
that's great.
This is it's always a great time of year. To be here. Are you looking to grow your business or bring new jobs and investments to Southwest Iowa? Advance Southwest Iowa Corporation is the economic development organization for all of Pottawattamie County. Advance connects entrepreneurs, innovators, and established companies with resources, incentives, and strategic support to launch, expand, and thrive right here in our region. From site development to small business programs and community partnerships, Advance Southwest Iowa helps build a a stronger local economy. Visit advancedsouthwestiowa.com to learn more and get involved. At some point, it touches all of us. A hospital visit, a moment we didn't see coming. The Jenny Edmondson Foundation is there to make sure that care is ready when it matters most. And you can be a part of that. Spend a summer night at the Wheels of Courage car show, tee it up at the Spirit of Courage golf tournament, or stand with the community during Pink Out this fall. It all stays right here, helping local families and patients. Visit jehfoundation.org and be a part of it. As you can see in the window now, we've got leaves on the trees.
We've got Celebrate CB Week coming up, and the county's excited to be participating in that. We're going to be doing Clean Sweep. So we'll be out cleaning part of the route that's just right by basically our campus and the courthouse and everything, and then we'll be participating in the parade. We have 6 county vehicles in the parade this year, so we'll have a nice, strong presence. I think we have 44 county employees and family members who will be walking in the parade again this year.
And a lot of folks are going to be lining the streets. Kyle and I and Carlene, we're going to be out doing a live webcast of the Celebrate CB parade. But first and foremost, we encourage people to come.
Yes.
Come to the parade because you don't have to watch it live. If it's available afterwards.
That's true.
You can still go out on YouTube and watch last year's parade.
Oh, that's perfect. So my daughter's going to love that because
exactly.
I can tell her she's going to be on YouTube.
Yes.
And that's going to blow her little mind.
Yep, we'll have multiple cameras set up out there and talking about the entries that come by. It's a fun event, and
it is.
It's fun for me to sit down there. Pancake Man's going to be in the park. Lots of activities going on. Railroad Day is going on the same weekend.
We it this year, so our shirts are on theme. We went with a railroad theme for our county shirts this year for the parade. Trying to stay on theme for that.
Yeah, perfect. And just lots of great things going on. And you are just so good at keeping me informed so I can help spread the word a little bit and sending folks over here that know their departments and what it is that they do. Because all I'm here doing is just turning on a microphone and say, okay, you talk for a while, and letting people know that the wonderful things that are happening inside the county.
Well, we appreciate it. You've been a great assistance in getting the word out on so many different topics. So we're very thankful.
Well, and I need to get back to the park again. We just did
more sunshine now.
Yeah, we just did the Botna Bend one. I was thinking that it would be fun to, because here's the thing. John Fenner over at Botna Bend, he sent me an email and he said, "Hey, did you leave a chair over here?" And yeah, I think I may have. And I didn't even realize I had when he emailed me. So now I got to go back out and get it. And I thought this would be a great time to head back over to Old Town and just kind of do a walkthrough like I did at Botna Bend.
Yeah.
And just walk around and do a show as I'm walking. And I love doing those.
Yeah.
So that's coming up pretty soon. Great. I think we'll get that done too. So anything else that we can help spread the word about? How do we do here today?
I think we covered a lot. So hopefully we'll see everybody out over Memorial Day weekend at the Wall That Heals. Yeah. And obviously, I guess the other thing with all those proclamations, one of the things that I do want people to know is that they are able to submit a request if they are a part of an organization that has a special month, week, cause. I think we joked about it last time that no, I'm so sorry, we won't be observing Todd Studer Day. Although we probably should for how many guests you've had on your podcast by now. Maybe we will have to change our policy on that. But
yeah, I actually, in my tiny little hometown, I saw who was then the mayor. He was outside putting something up at a park, and I went over and I said, "When are you going to put the sign up outside that says Boyhood Home of Todd Studer as you're driving into town?" And he said, "You pay for the sign, we'll put it up."
Well, there you go. I mean, that's not a bad deal. You could get a sign for a pretty good price.
Yeah,
but
I didn't do it.
On the county website, if you go to the public relations page, there is a proclamation request form. So if you are a part of any sort of association, organization, and you would be interested in having the county recognize something, hopefully not in the months of April or May.
Pretty full.
But, we would absolutely love to chat. So
just like that.
Yeah.
This is Kate Gerber, and she is the Public Relations Director for Pottawattamie County. Thank you so much for your time. Grateful anytime that you come over, and just feel free to pop in sometimes too. Yeah, we actually have a coffee machine. We have a coffee machine here now.
Oh, upgrades.
Yeah, we're coming along because I've already had some today. Also, thank you very much for watching this episode of Pottawattamie County Routes. Click the like button, share, follow, whatever platform you're watching this on, whatever it is that they let you do, because when you do, that helps to push this out, and it affects the algorithm that gets even more people seeing all of the exciting things that are happening right here close to home. My name's Todd Studer, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning.